Hello everyone and welcome to another video, an extra special discussion, talking to my friend Kotetsu. Say hi, Kotetsu.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, you can find us both at the One Up Crew, as you guys know. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about Tales of Arise. There was recently a new trailer that dropped and some new gameplay, and oh my gosh, it looks super good. I'm really excited. Uh, Kotetsu, what were your first initial thoughts about it when you first saw it?
This gameplay that dropped, all the stuff that dropped today.
Yeah.
Um, well, I was on Twitter and I don't know how I saw this, but I think it was someone or some publication I was following, and most of it was in Japanese. But what
Mm-hmm.
I saw was Tales of Arise 9921,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Wait, what?" And it was a link to a YouTube video, and I think it was like what, like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and you see this first gameplay trailer. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. They've been saying they were going to give us more information about the game and what to expect. And I think me and you had a little bit of a conversation where like, well, we're hoping we see it
Yeah.
around, fall and holiday, or if not,
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then at the end of it, it was like it was legit. It is set in stone. 9-9 for Japan, and
Mm-hmm.
then of course they released the English one, and it was going to be 9-10. And when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, this is like, okay, we're seeing more of
Yeah.
what we didn't really see. But the gameplay was what I've been really looking forward to seeing,
Oh yeah.
and
Same
it
here.
gave us this first 7 minutes of just gameplay, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. All the games I've been substituting, like Sword Art, is going to be deleted. I'm never going to touch Sword Art online anymore after I play this game.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Um, it's just, oh my gosh, it looks like no other Tales of game that's been
Yeah.
released since, and it's gonna be really good. It's gonna
Yeah.
be really good.
Definitely. Like this game is most definitely like it's marketed as a reboot for the most part, and it's great. They're going to be using like a brand new engine. It's running on Unreal rather than their own like proprietary one that I think they were using for the longest time, ever since
Yeah.
Zillia all the way to Berseria. Uh, that's a pretty long stretch, I'd say, and it's so nice to see something just new, and it looks really pretty. Like I'll have gameplay up on screen for you guys. It's really pretty. It's really cool, and the gameplay looks super fun. Like just there's like a perfect dodge mechanic. There's aerial combos. It's nutty. Like everything just looks insane. And oh my gosh, let's talk about the combat because like the combat looks like it's like a perfect grasp, a perfect mix of what they wanted to do with Zestiria and Berseria, by having things be kind of just feel like an action RPG, like something like behind the shoulder and just kind of like with a spiraling camera and all that jazz. I think they're finally like potentially mastering it once we have this in our hands. It looks really good. Like like
Mm,
just have it be
mm.
an action game. It's gonna be great. Um, and yeah, and about the worlds too. Like everything, the environments look really cool. Like there's a lot of verticality as well, rather than just like just a horizontal plane. You go to the next area, you go here, you do this. Like everything looks really fleshed out. Like there's a lot of time, care, and love put into this game to really reboot the franchise in the way that it needs to be done. Like, because the Tales of series is, I mean, it's pseudo mainstream in terms of like Japanese RPGs. It sells really well, but it's not really a very talked about series. And I do hope that we are able to see more, like more people get into the series because of this game, and maybe Arise will bring, maybe it will arise a new generation of consumers, fans, who will want to like play the older games, and maybe like we'll get more remakes or remasters. That'd be really cool. Like I think this game has the potential to make the series just nutty.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that this is definitely something that they needed. You know,
Yeah.
not saying Zestiria and Busteria were bad games. Like Zestiria felt more of like a hopeful tale,
Yeah.
you know, but with Busteria, it felt really dark and
Hmm.
just twisted, and all the characters had a chip on their shoulder. Like that, I think that's what I liked about Busteria. Every character you met had some kind of chip on their shoulder,
Oh, definitely.
and which made everyone kind of have their little banters that they did.
Hmm.
And besides the story, the combat was, you can tell that they were trying to do something there,
Yeah.
but they were kind of stuck in the formula that they've always been in.
Hmm.
You see it a little bit more in Visceria,
Yeah.
where like when you play Zestiria, it feels more like the cameras change, but the gameplay is the same.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Visceria was like they were trying to make this, they're trying to make Arise,
Yeah.
but they were just stuck. Like you said, they were using their own engine for so long and they couldn't do what they really wanted to. So
Yeah.
the fact that they moved over to Unreal Engine gave them that freedom to be able uh to make a game like this. And just looking at, like, as we're talking, I'm like rewatching the footage again,
Hmm.
and it just looks like such a great game. And I honestly, I hope, I had a conversation about this with someone else, and they were saying like the Tales of series isn't as big. They do have a following to the point where they are giving us games, but it's not that mainstream. And you're
Hmm.
right, it's not talked about as much. But I honestly feel like this game will definitely put the series on people's radars, to where they will say, "Well, I had a great time with this. Wait, there's another one. Oh wait, there's another one. Wait, there was this one. It started out in the 90s," and then they'll just go back and just enjoy the series,
Yeah.
um, and enjoy the entire series from each game, and just say, okay, Arise made me a fan. Like for
Yeah.
me, like I played Symphonia. Symphonia made me a fan
Hmm.
of the Tales of series. So I do hope that this game does revive the Tales of series to it doesn't seem like the only major change is the combat, and which is fine,
Yeah.
because this is definitely needed. It's very fast. It's camera friendly.
Hmm. Yeah.
You don't have to press the R1 button to move the camera around
Yeah.
to see your enemies. It looks like it's very camera friendly,
Yeah.
and it's just very fluid. So I can't wait for this game to come out.
Yeah, definitely. Like, oh my gosh. Like, the Tales of series has always had, I guess I'm going to call it an identity crisis in a sense. Like,
Yeah,
especially as of recent, it never really seemed like it knew what it wanted to be. Um, but I think they're finally dipping their toes into something that can be just great for everyone. Like, good for newcomers, good for fans of the series. Like, this is going to be the reboot that we really need, I guess. But like, oh man, it's so crazy just to see the game and oh man, because it's been like shown a little bit here and there for so long, and we've been hearing about
mhm,
it, and it's like it's almost here. It's coming this year. That's insane.
yeah. Oh, and you know what? I was thinking about this too. I'm gonna have such an issue
Hmm.
because Scarlet Nexus comes out this year too, in
Yeah.
like in a couple months,
Oh yeah, that
and
too.
I'm like,
Oh man.
if I don't finish Scarlet Nexus, if I have this game, I'm like, I'm gonna be juggling
Yeah.
between the two. But yeah, just if you just to look at where they came from, if you look at this game, the character models especially, because they had this chibi look, and I think when they went from, I think what kind of started to move away from that was, I want to say, Zelia was the game that moved them away from doing the chibi kind of character look to more of like the realistic, more life
Yeah.
size kind of characters, but their models still kind of, you know the lighting was kind of rough on some of the models and made them
Yeah.
look kind of a certain way. But here, when you see Arise and
Hmm.
just how it looks, it just it's a whole new game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't look like a Tales game, but it definitely is a Tales game.
Yeah,
Um,
like,
just for those who've played it,
mm-hmm.
you look at the combat, you look at, I'm sure the story is going to be great because it just
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
far, like we don't know much besides him being a slave and someone helping him
Yeah,
break out, and that's just like kind of where it starts. And we don't know where he gets that funky sword from, where that
yeah,
sword
yeah.
came from.
Oh
So
man.
it's just so many. It's just there's just so many questions that
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like really looking forward to when this game does come out.
Yeah, definitely. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be such a fun experience, and like I know that we're both gonna be talking about it when we both get our hands on it. It's gonna be
Yeah,
great. Um, and I'll certainly have to let you guys know my take on the game when it finally drops. But as of now, I'm super hyped for it, and it's just it's gonna be good, and that's really all there is to it. Like, I mean, hey, even if it's not good, I mean, the combat looks fun, so that's good enough for me. Uh,
yeah, I'm still gonna play it. Like
yeah,
I played almost every single Tales of modern Tales of
yeah,
from from Symphonia on.
hmm,
So I'm definitely, even if it isn't as good as I'm still going to get it because I'm still going to support this series no matter what.
yeah. It's just it deserves this. The series
Exactly.
deserves this, and I think like no matter what happens, it's going to be a good road for the Tales of series and Tales of fans all around the
Exactly.
world. And I think it's finally time for this series to arise. And with that,
Exactly.
and with that hilarious joke, I think that about wraps it up for the discussion. Honestly, any last remarks regarding the game? Anything on your head that you're thinking about?
Uh, I'll just the fact that I can't wait for this now. If I wasn't excited for it before, I am now.
Yeah,
After seeing this, if I wasn't excited before, I definitely am now.
yeah, definitely. Like, oh man, me too, honestly. And the fact that it's coming to next gen consoles as well is super good. The PS5 is finally having games, guys, so that's cool. uh, anyway, thank you guys for checking out the video. This has been Adam and my good friend Kotetsu. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
Uh,
you for having me.
yeah, you guys can find him over on YouTube at KotetsuTokai. Um, and you can find us both on the One Up Crew podcast. Sometimes we podcast, sometimes we don't.
Yes. And
It'll
you can also find me on Gamers Realm podcast as well every Friday, 5:30 PST, 7:30 Central, and I think 8:30 Eastern.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds
On
about right.
Fridays.
Yeah, those are indeed
Yeah.
numbers. So be sure to check that out. Check out the Gamer Realms. Gamer's Realm. It's pretty cool. I like it. Uh, all right, guys. You know the drill. This has been Adam, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.